Hello everyone, welcome to Channel Your Emotions. Today I'm introducing a brand new topic with this introductory video called How to Be a Thriving Older Man. I'm going to begin to emphasize for some time now older men, I'd say 60s or over, or however you want to define it. Of course, anyone's welcome to watch this channel and this video, but I'm going to direct it to men because we have different life circumstances than women, and I'm going to direct it to older men. I myself is 75 years old. I am a licensed psychotherapist. I'm also a father, grandfather to 8, husband, brother to 2 brothers and a sister, and friends to several people. And all of these experiences have helped me a lot, and I want to share what I've learned in my years and find out what you've learned in yours to come together to kind of grow together. It's time for me to act my age, and that's what I'm hoping to do now. We're going to discuss a lot of weekly topics, so I'll just kind of let you know what's coming ahead. We're going to look at all kinds of things like personal relationships, getting along with children and grandchildren, communication, and retirement adjustments, pre and post, dealing with financial situations, body changes, health issues, all the things that people in our age group deal with, which I never thought about when I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Did you? 30s, 40s, most of these things were not an issue. Now they are. This is a stage of life that we are in together, and I think we can learn a lot from each other. I'm going to do videos like, building stronger relationship in your golden years, how to be retired and like it, getting closer to grandchildren, dealing with health issues, a variety of topics like this that I hope will be of real interest to you. And I also want to let you know right now that it's really critical that if you're interested in these videos, you give me your comments below and questions, and I will respond to everything you send me. And I will take everything you send me and help steer this channel, because I don't really have a strong concept yet of what I'm going to do. But I know that if you give me input and tell me what you want to hear about, I will address those issues, because that's what I want to do, is meet your needs, because that's what I do. It's what I try to do anyhow. I will give you an example of that because I'm going to share my own life at times. And yesterday was a particularly difficult one where I had a big argument with my wife, Hildy. And I kind of, long story short, she's not outgoing like I am. I'm pretty outgoing. She's kind of quieter. And I got mad because I wanted to talk to some people with her, and I accused her of not liking people. I'm smiling now, but I wasn't smiling then, nor was she. We had an argument, words, not screaming or yelling or swearing or anything, but she was pretty upset by what I said. I went for a drive, mad at her, blaming her, but knowing deep in the back of my head that probably maybe some of this had to do with me. And the longer I spent driving around, because I was about to go to lunch also, I realized that it was a lot to do with me. And she sent me a video or an email telling me how hurt she was. And I parked the car and thought about this and realized she deserved an apology. So I did do a strong apology in a text and sent it to her as a start. Sometimes when we're upset, it's hard to even talk person to person, face to face. So I wanted her to know I was at fault for a lot of what happened. We are different people. We love each other, but we're different people. And we have conflicts this way sometimes. But I sent this, and I actually said, I'm going to lunch. If you respond to this, and I hope you do, I'll read it before I come home for lunch. because I wanted to try to enjoy my lunch too. And that's what happened. And I got home and things went much better. It was a sincere apology in my text, and it wasn't blaming her. It's trying to look at myself, and that's really hard because I really wanted to blame her. I really didn't want to look at the fact that I get too mad sometimes and I jump to conclusions, and they're hurtful. And I want our relationship to continue to thrive as it has. And that's why I communicated the way I did. And even after I got home, we chatted a little bit. I said, let's not talk about this right now, but you know how I feel. And she agreed. And over the next few hours, we really got back to normal again. If I hadn't apologized, it would take a few days. One last thing also about apologies for you to know about. If you don't know this, it's a key point. One thing about apologies is never ask that person to forgive you. Never ask them to forgive you. Do you know why? It's because if I'm making an apology to somebody for something I truly did wrong, how I treated them, I want them to know I made a mistake, and I want them to feel better because it was my mistake. If I then say, would you please forgive me? Who is that for? If I ask her to forgive me, that's so I can feel better, not her. And if she's not ready to forgive me, it's not fair for me to ask her to do that because she doesn't want to, or she's not ready, and she doesn't have to. And in fact, I don't need an apology. I need us to get back together emotionally again. So I don't ask people to apologize because it's kind of not very fair to her. So those are some thoughts that I do have about what's going on here. And I want to say to you at the end here that I also talk a lot about how we act, what we feel, and what we think. I believe that if you want to understand yourself and get along with people better and get along with yourself better, we can talk more about how our thoughts, what we think about people or ourselves, our feelings, our emotions, whether we're angry or sad or scared or whatever, those are feelings. How those two interact, because there's a big difference, and people don't realize this. There's really a big difference between a feeling and a thought. They're closely related. That's why it's so confusing. But feelings are like sad or angry. Thoughts are, you're mean to me, I don't like you, you don't care. Those are thoughts. They're separate, and we can't confuse them if we want to understand the third part, which is how to get along with people. Because our actions, what we actually do, what we say, how we act, the way we move, whether we say something or not, those are all actions that other people can see, and they are driven by what we're thinking and how we're feeling. And the better we can learn about that, the more we can learn to channel our emotions and our thoughts to act in a way that helps us get along better with people and feel closer. It's not about giving in or always blaming ourselves. It's about understanding the situation and acting in it in a way that improves relationships and how we feel. So the last thing I want to say to you, and it's real important, is that if you hit the like button, that promotes this video. So you can do that, and I would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the videos on YouTube, like I was, you may not know that you can subscribe anytime. It doesn't commit you to anything. You don't pay anything. You aren't required to do anything. All that subscribe means is that when you hit that, and I come out with this next video, nobody else's videos, but you subscribe to my channel, when my next video comes out, which should be next Friday, I try to do this every Friday afternoon, it will come to you a notification. You can click on that video and watch all the wonderful, hilarious things I say, the stories I tell, some of which are even true. Actually, they're all true. But that is what subscribe means. You can also unsubscribe anytime if you don't want to get these videos. Or if it comes to you and you don't want to look at it, don't look at it. But subscribing allows you to do that. That would really help this channel. And if I said earlier, if you make a comment or question, I will respond to you, and it will help direct how I go about these videos and what I address. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching. See you next week if you come back. Have a good day.